You know, low-key, the really, really nice thing about the Warriors maps coming back is that people are grinding on them and cheesing them in the, you know, fastest, most efficient way possible. And they're forgetting to re-equip their fucking weapons. I love it. Thank you so much for this easy arena assault win. Awesome! Yes! And I've actually come across it a lot of times, enough times that I had to record footage of it. So if you haven't been playing Arena Assault much, now is definitely the time to get back into it, because you're going to have some easy wins. I've been coming across so many people that just don't have a weapon equipped. And I've recorded a couple instances, but literally it happened so much that I just realized I needed to record the next couple of times it happened. So I've had this happen at least 5 times more than you're going to see in the video. Oh, and by the way, I really want to mention how I do like the Arena Assault mode because of the fact that it encourages, or rather forces, variety in your team compositions. Because despite, you know, putting a lot of time and effort into my Ikes, or in a lot of the units I use very often, it is kind of nice to, you know, break out of the rut every so often and change it up a little bit. Oh, hey, look at that. Tiki without a melon smasher. All those melons and nothing to do with them. What a shame. Come to think of it, I'm surprised nobody, well, at least that I know of, made a joke about Summer Tiki being, you know, a melon smasher. And I'm not going in the direction you're thinking I'm going. I'm actually going in the direction of that one comedian guy with the weird hair that smashed watermelons with, like, a hammer and shit. I think his name was Gallagher or something. I don't quite remember. But yeah, that was kind of his shtick, just fucking smashing melons with a hammer. I don't know if anybody drew that parallel or not. But I figure I trained up my Tharja. She's pretty much good to go now. I figure the perfect place to test it out is against, you know, an enemy Armor Emblem. See which one is better. I'm kind of working out the kinks. You know, I need to play it often to get used to it, used to the movement, the buffs and whatever, because it's not nearly as easy to position, you know, Armor Emblem the same way you can Cavalry and get the same buffs and whatnot. You know, for obvious reasons. Cavalry can go where the fuck they want, but Armor Emblem generally has 1 to 2 squares that they can possibly cover. And I do like the nice touch that they actually allowed Armored March for armor units to actually pass through, you know, forest squares, as though, you know, it didn't give them that movement, whatever the fuck. They could just pass over it, as though it weren't there, I guess. Oh man, this is kind of cringy, actually. I do like the nice touch, the reference from the original game that they gave Tharja here. I believe it was in Tharja and Robin's supports, if I remember correctly. You know, considering that I did support her in Awakening. The fact that Robin tells Tharja that she ought to act more normal or something, and wanting to impress, flatter, etc. Robin, she legitimately makes an effort to, you know, be normal, I guess, but in so doing makes her even weirder than normal. But it is kind of nice that Tharja's willing to change herself for someone else, which, you know, you would normally think Tharja's a terrible, you know, selfish person and whatever. But in so doing, Robin ends up conceding the fact that Tharja is anything but normal and ends up telling her that he accepts her the way she is and that, you know, she doesn't need to do this normal practice. Although she is actually somewhat successful in the short amount of conversation that we do see about it. She does manage to act and speak somewhat normally for a short period of time, and it's pretty funny. If you guys didn't know already, by the way, my Tharja happened to be plus speed minus attack, which is the perfect opposite IVs. Because a plus speed isn't going to help her in any way, shape, or form, and obviously the minus attack only hinders. It seems like a lot of us content creators are having, you know, some issues with the minus attack curse in recent times. A lot of us, really. But luckily, the minus attack plus speed probably isn't as crippling as you could imagine it to be. Tharja does manage to secure the kill on Brave Lynn, but is essentially crippled because I have no method of health restoration on this team. So now her vengeful fighter ability is no longer active, and I don't really have a way to get her, you know, bulky close counter utility back into the team composition. So she's kind of relegated more into the support role when she loses her HP. And because of this dilemma, I actually considered possibly running a healer on my team, but that could potentially hurt the Armor Emblem as a whole, because those Hone, Fortify, Armor March buffs are actually very precious and important to Armor Emblem. And you need to have as many as possible to get the absolute, you know, most value out of each member of the team. Oh, and before I forget, quick little Easter egg. In that one summoning video previously, you would have noticed that Arden was off to the side and he did not look very happy. That was a hint that he was going to be replaced on my Armor Emblem by Tharja. Or, you know, whatever I managed to summon on that banner. So I think one or two people actually connected the dots, which I'm very impressed. Good job with that. And I wanted to let you guys know before I forgot about it. I do like to include little Easter eggs, subtle hints in a lot of my videos. My stupid description things are also evidence of that. And you guys were actually sad when I forgot to do it once, so I do it. Sometimes I'm kind of running out of ideas to throw down there. But anyway, the dilemma with Tharja having very bulky, you know, bait and counter utility, her HP ends up being a major issue because if you know, obviously run out of it, she becomes a liability, just like any other character, but I think her more so than most other characters. Which leads me to believe, and it's likely going to be an unpopular opinion, because most people will say and agree, you know, myself included, that Glacius will be the best special for Tharja, considering she'll likely be doubled and she'll be able to activate it on her second counter attack, which thank you to Embror for explaining that to me, because I didn't get it at first. The fact that Glacius procs if she gets doubled and she procs it on her second counter attack. But anyway, I think that Aether could be the most valuable special to put on Tharja. And you know, It's not like a hard and fast opinion. It was an idea I thought of, and I'd very much like to put into practice to see if it really would do what I think it is capable of doing. And that's increasing Tharja's longevity. Yes, she's got plenty of nuking potential in which Glacius would proc utilizing Tharja's extremely high resistance. But when she does get off her nuking potential, will she be above 50% HP in which to continue utilizing her vengeful fighter is the dilemma. So yes, she can annihilate one unit. You'll make a good trade. You'll trade one for nothing, but in so doing, Tharja could potentially become crippled by something that could actually contend with her. But I could also see her losing value if she were to utilize Aether and not get the HP back that she needs in order to keep herself viable. Will it be worth 20,000 feathers to find out? I don't know, but I'll see. See you next time.